listening to the Straight to Video podcast with Rob Lane.
Aw, crap, we're back, 2022, and I hope everyone has been doing great. How was Christmas and New Year? I hope you all had fun, got some relaxing in with friends and family, and you're all recharged to kick off this year. I want to say thanks to everyone who regularly listens to the show for being so cool with the break from the episodes. In my head, I wanted to go right through and continue putting them out, but the couple of weeks away from the show has been real good, and it's allowed me to get a few chats in the bag, shall we say, for the coming weeks. Today, though, to bring things right back up to speed, I got to chat with a real veteran of hard rock who has been singing, recording and performing for over 50 years now. The one and only Bob Catley of Magnum, who, if you're listening to this episode on the day it comes out, released their brand new album, The Monster Roars, today, January the 14th, and it's available wherever you get your music these days, but they also have some amazing limited edition versions and some great physical editions available through the website magnumonline.co.uk. Bob Catley and Magnum are a UK hard rock institution. Since forming in the early 70s, and it's great to have them around, still releasing albums and getting set for more touring over the coming year. I want to thank my friend Paul Lavender for suggesting I reach out and get Bob on the show, so thanks for that, mate, and it was great to chat all about his early collaborations with his longtime musical partner and Magnum songwriter Tony Clarkin, their appearances on Top of the Pops, along with touring the USA with Ozzy, and later recording over there when the 80s crossed into the 90s. Before we check in with Bob, I want to thank my friends Dead Skull Coffee for continuing to support the show into 2022. Can't wait to see what they achieve this year, as they're always brewing up something cool, and they continue to offer listeners to this show 15% off any order of their ground or full bean coffee. So if you're onto something of a slow start early this year and need a pick-me-up, head on over to deadskullcoffee.co.uk and simply add the promo code STV on checkout. Hopefully on the downtime over Christmas you've had a chance to catch up on older episodes of the show. If not, all 150 chats are available at stvpod.com, along with some straight-to-video music, videos and merch. And you'll also find a link to the Patreon page where you can get extra content from the show, as well as exclusive stuff you will not find anywhere else. So please hit up stvpod.com for all of that. Alrighty, let's get the new year into gear with a rock and roll legend. So please enjoy my straight to video chat with Magnum's Bob Catley.
Hello, Rob. Yeah, it's Bob here.
How you doing, mate? You all right?
I'm good, thank you. Yes, just doing my interviews.
I bet you're racking them up at the moment, aren't you? With the album coming out soon.
Yeah, just reeling them off one after the other.
Well, it's a good way to kick off the new year, straight from all the Christmas and New Year, then straight into work again. Kick things off properly.
I'm glad to be doing it, really, honestly. It's good. We got a lot coming up. So, yeah, the album coming out and the tour and everything. So, yeah, no, I'm glad to be doing it. Me and Tony are doing our share of talking to people, and it's great that people are interested and want to talk about it, you know, so I'm really happy with the whole situation at the moment.
Well, congratulations on the new album, The Monster Roars. What album number is this, or did you give up counting some time ago?
Yeah, it's number 22. Two Little Ducks, this one is, Rob. Yeah, it's our 22nd album, yeah. The first one came out in 1978, and here we are in 2022. Amazing. That number 22 in 2022.
There you go. Has your relationship with Tony in regards to new material changed over the course of your career? Does he still present songs to you in the same way?
Well, yeah, it's always been the same. It comes up with these brilliant tunes, and words to match, and I'm usually the first to hear them. And he'll go, I've got a song here, I'd like you to sing it. And here's some words, usually a chorus that he's just put together. So I'll get my lips around that. And we usually change the key because it's usually not quite right for the whole song. Some parts are higher than others in the song. So we have to alter the key. It's one thing writing it on a guitar, but another one trying to sing it, you know.
Exactly.
Because I'm not a guitar string, of course. The tempo could change. Most times it's usually a bit slow because he gets used to it, that tempo, but I start singing it and it's like, oh, we need the vocal to be more urgent.
Yeah.
Urgent, emergency, that one, you know. So Lou Grant, what a singer, great. One of my all-time heroes. Oh. And, brilliant. And that's how we proceed. And so we start putting it down and living with it. And when we've got through quite a few songs like that, he's got enough to go away with and complete the lyrics. We meet up again sometime later, and I put down the rest of the vocal, and then everything else is there for the band to pick up on and get used to listening to at home until they come into the studio to play their parts. So that's how we proceed, and it's worked so far all these years.
Pretty good track record.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you've had some certain success over the years, yeah.
Have you revisited some older material on this new record as bonus tracks? New version of Days of No Trust from 88 and a remastered version of... Is it your very first single, Sweets from My Sweets, from 75, I think it is?
Yeah, well, yes, we were looking for some bonus material. The label were looking for some bonus material. So we came up, we searched around, and we found Sweets of My Sweets, which was 1975, our first record release, our first single on CBS Records. But it was an edited version of what we used to do on stage at the Rum Runner in Birmingham, where we were one of the two resident bands at the time. We used to do it at Christmas, and there was like a Christmas version of God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen in the middle of the track, Sweets of My Sweet, which we recorded the whole thing in London. That came out 1976, but they cut out all the middle bit.
Okay.
It was far too long, as usual. I mean, it's like 3.5 minutes, and that's all you get, you know, for a single, as you know. So we found the record, the full version of it, and with la 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 la. Oh, I won't sing; it's embarrassing. and it's such a bit of fun. So it's for the collectors, you know. It wasn't on the original record, so this is the full-length version,
Brilliant.
part of the bonus CD. There's also a new version of Days of No Trust, which we've sped up and changed the arrangement slightly. So it's a new version. It's not the one that everybody's got. And another track that we completely forgotten about, and we didn't even know what the title was, so it's untitled. But it's an early Magnum track with our old bass player Dave Morgan singing the lead vocal on it. But it's Magnum. I mean, I'm in the background with the tambourine and doing the backing vocals. So it's something for the collectors. So I think it's a nice thing to have. And part of the box set that we've got coming out at the same time as the album comes out. And it's got all these things in it. It's got a CD and a cassette and a this and a that and the bonus disc and a T-shirt and whatever.
All that great physical stuff.
It's a limited edition box set, so it probably won't be around very long unless you're getting quick people.
I was wondering, Bob, how did you and Tony originally meet? I mean, it's a partnership, which I believe is it 50 years old this year? Was it 1972 when you first crossed paths?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, we knew each other from the late 60s, vaguely. You know, you bump into each other on the gig circuit. All right, how you doing? And all that. And that was as far as it went. But we didn't get together properly till 1972. Our old drummer, Kex Gorin, bless him, no longer with us, he talked Tony into joining this resident band that me and him were in. We was already called Magnum. So he joined Magnum, Tony. He joined me and Kex. Yeah, he must have been short of money or something. So he didn't really want to do it. Resident band, you know, playing covers for people to dance to is fine, but depends where your head is at the time. And I think he just, okay, I'll have it. How much? And we did that until 1975. that's when we had to leave and seek a living elsewhere because we got the sack.
Right.
Well, we used to get people up on stage, like John Bonham and Tony Iommi and Cozy Powell, and people get up for a jam session doing rock and roll 12-bar stuff. That went down great with the musicians in the audience, but the people who were there weren't really impressed because it's like, they don't care who you are. They couldn't dance to it.
That's crazy that getting those guys up on stage actually got you the sack.
Yeah, it's their fault. Thanks, guys. Yeah, but it's okay. It was meant to happen. And a couple of years after we left the Rum Runner, the Duran Duran started rehearsing there.
Yeah?
Yeah, so that's where they started as well. But, that's how me and Tony got together. We started doing his material, and we ended up doing residencies, and then the album came out. And then we started doing support tours with quite a few bands, and that's how Magnum got started, really, picking up an audience from other bands following, So great, and here we are still.
My introduction to you guys, other than my friend at school being a massive fan, and he was always quoting your on-stage banter from your own video. He used to always quote your lines from that. But my introduction was hearing Start Talking Love on the Hot City Nights compilation album around 1988. I mean, that's such a masterclass it's just simply a great pop rock song. The writing on it's great.
Start Talking Love. It's great, yeah. I love it, yeah. It's a real old one. God, that was, I had a video for that, and it was on the telly a lot. Around about the late 88, yeah, Start Talking Love went down good.
I mean, I heard that on that compilation album. A lot of bands on that album were new to me as a kid back then, but it stood proudly against the likes of Bon Jovi, Bryan Adams, Kiss, Whitesnake, who were all on that same cassette.
Good company to be involved with, yes. We had a couple of singles off the album, Days of No Trust, and on Top of the Pops with Start Talking Love as well.
That's right, May 1988, I believe that was.
Yeah, we were in Germany recording a B-side with a string quartet from the Munich Philharmonic Orchestra, and we got a phone call come through that it had gone up quite a few places because people saw it on Top of the Pops. Yeah, I mean, I was really chuffed. we were like, oh, we're in the top 20. Amazing. So it did really good for Magnum, and I still like it, yeah. I don't think Tony likes it much. He's moved on a bit.
Right.
It's a different songwriter, It's like, oh, hang on, that was then and this is now,
Was you as a band kind of embracing a lot of the American rock, which was getting mainstream radio play around that time?
Well, we're not American, but we were hoping to fit in with there somewhere. Yeah. It wasn't steered that way, but fortunately it sounded good, and the right feeling and the right words in the song, then it kind of fitted into the mainstream, which is great,
Yeah,
definitely. You can't force it, but it did actually fit in the mainstream, and that's why it did so well. I was really glad that song came along.
What do you remember about the Top of the Pops experience? Was it everything you hoped? Because I guess you'd watched all that through the 70s and all those classic bands being on there.
Yeah, when we was doing gigs in like American Air Force bases, and you'd watch the TV before you went on the stage. You had a television room in them days. And Top of the Pops came on, and I'm watching it, and I'm going, wouldn't it be great if we could go? Well, I'd love to be on Top of the Pops, This is just me talking. Not everybody's gagging to be on Top of the Pops in bands, especially a hard rock bands. It's like, oh, hang on, we've got a mime or something.
Exactly.
So it's a bit below them, But we went on, and we had a great day. I mean, I was exhausted at the end of it, because I'm not very good at miming, so I tend to sing.
Right.
So you can actually see me throat working, although I feel like I'm cheating people. And I lost my voice at the end of the sessions. We did 3 takes for the cameras and then the sound, and then off we go. I can hardly speak afterwards. I mean, it's supposed to be miming, but it's not in my part to mime, really. I know nobody could hear me, but I couldn't help it. But I really enjoyed Top of the Pops, and the crowd were there, and I don't think half of them were bothered, but they were still told to dance and clap, like everybody, like you're the Beatles or something.
Yeah, I think you were on the same show as S-Express, the Primitives and the Christians. I think that was the lineup.
Oh, great, yeah. Not too many Magnum fans in that audience then.
Just kind of speaking about the American sound of things, you guys actually toured the US in the early 80s with Ozzy. Was that your first experience over there?
Well, yeah, we had an album out called Chase the Dragon in 1982, And we were on the same label as Ozzy Osbourne, Jet Records at the time. We did pretty good in the UK. Got to number 17 in the top 20. We were on tour with Crocus, and our album went up 10 places higher than theirs. We were only the support band. That was like, yeah, we're great. We're up in the top 20. And the record label said, we can get you the main support slot with Ozzy in the spring. So they got us over there after that terrible accident with Randy Rhoads.
Right. It was just, I was wondering then when like the timeline was, if Randy was still in the band or if it was after all that had happened.
Yeah, that had happened and terrible. And when Ozzy got back into singing again, and a new guitar player, we joined the tour halfway through. And it was great. And we go on the stage in front of 20,000 people, usually. 20,000-seater indoor arenas. I mean, it was amazing. We did, the eastern seaboard and some southern states. And we had a great time. And the people were still coming in when we came out on the stage. There'd been a band on before us. So I don't know how many people saw them.
You don't remember who that was back then, do you?
I don't remember. No, I couldn't tell you. But we went down amazingly well, considering we hadn't got any track record in the States at all. So that was great, and the album did good. It did the profile good for the band. And we came back and carried on, starting a new album, The 11th Hour. Yeah, so thank you, Ozzy, and thank you, Sharon, for looking after us. Was in lovely tour buses and hotels, and wow, they treated us like it was our tour.
Was that your first time over in the States, or had you been there before?
Let me think, 1982. Yeah, it was the first time we were over there, that's right, yes. We went there after that to do the Goodnight LA album in the 1990 with Keith Olsen. But yeah, it was like, we're from, never been to America before, and we had a great crew, roadies, techs, they're called technicians now, but they were roadies then. They were great, and they'd look after us and see that we had a good time. And it was nice. I'd recommend it anytime. If you're joining a band, go to America, because you'll have a great time.
Was Ozzy familiar with you guys, with you all being from Birmingham?
Yeah, I mean, he knew of us. Yeah, we bumped into him on occasion when he was rehearsing with Randy Rhoads in rehearsal rooms in London, sometime before they went to the States to do the tour. So we knew each other, and we were in the same hotels and the same bars, and so you get to meet a lot of people like that, And then years later, you don't see each other for a long time. So probably wouldn't know me now, but we got on famously at the time. Having a drink helped,
Superb. And like you say, you'd returned to the US as the 90s rolled in to record Goodnight LA.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy recording over there? I mean, because I think that was the first time the label wanted to bring in outside writers, which seems weird label logic, really, as you'd perhaps done one of your most commercial sounding and successful songs with your own songwriter. It's just strange logic.
Yeah, well, it was done for a reason for them. And they wanted us to be presentable to an American audience, I believe. And we were offered to go to Goodnight LA Studios with Keith Olsen, and we snapped it up, of course. I think Tony did good, co-writing with other people. Ross Ballard, he did great with him. And there's a couple of other people in there that the label wanted Tony to work with, So he went along with that. I looked at it from a different point of view, because I love Tony's songs as they were.
Yeah.
And, why do we need to do this? But from a label point of view, they want to push the band as much as they can. So it was a go at breaking new ground, over in America. So he worked really good. I mean, we had a good time with Keith Olsen, and he did a good job for us. Thank you, Keith. He's no longer with us, unfortunately. And we was in the States, so it was, sunny every morning. Every day was the same weather in California, misty, and then burning off the haze, and glorious sunshine and lovely weather all the time. So, we went down to Mexico, to Tijuana for a day trip. And stuff like that. Went over to Las Vegas for a day and lost some money on the tables. But, when we'd done our parts, our bits, we were free for the day. And we had hire cars given us for the duration. So, and we was in a nice apartment, and it was, it was a terrible time, people. I hated it. Then we came back to the wind and the rain in England. But at least I was glad to be home, actually. Yeah, it's nice while we were there, but we were there for 3.5 months. But it was nice to come back. But we had a good time, and some of it worked and some of it didn't, I think. So it was, I think a lot of people liked it, but some weren't too keen in the press.
It was a change in time in music as well, though, to be honest. So,
yeah, So it was a Marmite album, I think we call it.
The position you're in now, though, with the recent output, I imagine feels really good. Having Tony as the producer too, and you're able to put out the albums you want to put out and have them sound like the band's vision.
Yes, yeah. I mean, now with SPV, they don't get involved until right at the end when it's all recorded and sent over for them to put it out. They give us total artistic freedom. You know, there's nobody sitting over your shoulder. They're really supportive. And I want to thank Ollie Hahn and Frank and everybody at SPV for being so good to us over the years. They give us complete freedom. So we have a very good working relationship with SPV.
I think you got gatefold vinyl on this next one, proper old school.
Yeah, oh yeah, we like the gatefold. And we've got vinyl, the cassette. Cassettes are making a comeback, apparently.
They're trying the hardest.
Yeah, my daughter said, "Oh, I'll have one of those cassettes. I've got to get her one."
Yeah, I think it's pure nostalgia value on that.
It is, exactly, yeah. Like me and me 45s on me record player. Total nostalgia.
Do you remember the first 45 you ever brought?
First 45 I ever bought? Oh, crikey. Oh, probably a Rolling Stones record. Probably, not Fade Away or something.
Excellent.
That's why I'm in a band. Mick Jagger made me join a band.
He's responsible.
I want to be him. My ultimate hero is still Mick Jagger. That's the reason why that got me going. And I kept seeing him on the telly. I've got to do something like that. And I ended up being in a band, and here we are now. So thank you, Michael. Thank you, Sir Mick Jagger.
Well, Bob, thanks ever so much. I know you're very busy. I appreciate you spending some time chatting with us.
Yeah, thank you.
You enjoy the rest of your day.
I will do. And you take care and look after yourself.
Thanks so much to Mr. Bob Catley for taking some time in his mega busy schedule right now to chat here on the Straight to Video podcast. Hope you all enjoyed that, and check out the new Magnum album, The Monster Roars, which is out now from wherever you get your music, or direct from the band at magnumonline.co.uk. As always, I appreciate you listening to the show, and for all the messages and feedback you continue to send my way. Please feel free to hit me up and let me know who you'd like to hear on the show, and I'll try my very best to make that happen. Find us at stvpod.com or through any social media you use, and I'll get right back to you. So that's all for this episode, first of 2022. It feels good to be back, and here's to an amazing year, and I look forward to speaking to you all again real soon.